Hello, students. By now, you should have watched the other video, just the sort of general get to know me video. This video overview is an explanation of the class JMS 472, and it's also a syllabus quiz. So it functions as a video lecture and also a syllabus quiz. Now, the topic of the class is media, technology, and society. And to help me out, I decided to use a new tool, something that I've just learned about recently. Maybe y'all have learned about it recently as well, called Chat GPT. So I asked Chat GPT to give me a summary for a media studies class called Media, Technology, and Society. Here it is.
Begin numbered list with 2 items. Item 1 of 2, Media Studies class about media technology and society typically examines the ways in which media technologies impact society and culture. This can include analyzing the effects of different forms of media, such as television, film, the internet, and social media, on individuals and communities. It can also involve studying the ways in which these technologies shape and are shaped by societal norms, values, and power dynamics. Item 2 of 2, this class, students may learn about the history of media technology and its development over time. They may study the emergence of new technologies, such as the printing press and the telegraph, and how they impacted society and culture. They may also explore the ways in which technology has changed the way we consume and create media, including the rise of digital platforms and the shift to streaming services. Begin paragraph text. Another aspect of the class may involve analyzing the impact of media technology on various social groups. This could include examining how different forms of media impact different racial, ethnic, and socioeconomic groups, as well as how they shape gender and sexual identity.
Okay, even though that all that text was generated by artificial intelligence, it was actually reasonably accurate. It kind of covers everything that such a class as media, technology, and society might cover. And it does explain a lot of the things that we're going to cover. I'm going to really emphasize the social shaping of technology. So it's less about the effect that technologies have upon society. And I'm really going to try and stress the emphasis that stress the effect society has upon technology, right? I repeat that. What is the effect of society upon technology? Okay, that's what really what we're going to try and stress this semester. And that sort of AI summary did include a mention of gender, which I thought was pretty interesting because I do touch upon the way dynamics of gender and thoughts about gender do intersect with their thoughts about technology. For example, that voice, that sort of that robotic voice that was generated by Canvas. The default voice is a female voice. I think that's very interesting. When our devices talk to us, like our smart speakers or navigation devices, they typically rely on a female voice. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about those kinds of things. Anyway, enough of that. That's generally what the class is about. Oh, one point, important point. Most of the class deals with old stuff, okay, historical stuff. I'm a media historian by training, but I try to talk about old stuff as a way to illustrate themes and dynamics and trends with technology that still apply today. The explosive growth of artificial intelligence, AI, is going to be, I think, a constant undercurrent of the class. I think that's going to be a talking point that we come back to. But I just wanted to stress that, even when we talk about the printing press, hieroglyphs, the telegraph, it's not that I'm just obsessed with old stuff, although I probably am obsessed with old stuff, but I'm trying to use the discussion of old stuff as a way to illustrate contemporary issues. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do, that there are certain themes and trends that deal with technology that we can see in the past, that we can still see today. So artificial intelligence is going to be kind of a big running theme of the class, but the readings are going to be primarily about old stuff. Now I'm going to talk about some of the structures and sort of nuts and bolts of the class. There are 2 assigned textbooks. First one is called Alphabet to Internet, or From the Alphabet to the Internet. If you want that book, if you're in Equitable Access, you will get access to that textbook online through Equitable Access. The second book, which we will get to later in the semester, is called Drone Visions. I don't think, at least at the time of this recording, I don't think that's available through Equitable Access. but it's really not that expensive, and you can find different ways to get access to that book. Okay, so those are the two textbooks, and I will expect you to read the textbooks. If you want to communicate with me, email me through Canvas inbox. I get a lot of emails. I teach a lot of students, a great many students, just take my word for it. And if you email me through Canvas inbox, it's just much easier. Kind of keeps communication organized on my end. If you send me an email just through regular SDSU email, it could easily get buried, and I might try to respond and I literally just won't be able to find it. So email me through Canvas inbox. The class meets on Mondays and Wednesdays. We meet in person, face to face, Mondays and Wednesdays. And when you show up for class, whatever the assigned reading is for that week, usually a chapter from that Alphabet to Internet book, I will expect you to have read the chapter, or at least spent some reasonable amount of time with the chapter so that you can discuss it with some intelligence and have some thoughts about it. We're a pretty small class this semester, so participation is important, and I will be grading. There's 10% of the class devoted to participation. So I will expect you to be engaged, and obviously it's hard to do that if you haven't read the material. So please come prepared to the Monday and Wednesday meetings. Now, a lot of the projects that we are going to be doing are going to be using Adobe Creative Cloud. That is something that you have free access to as an SDSU student. So with your SDSU email account, you will be able to access this tool for free. And let me just show you the kind of thing you're going to be working on. This is a online portfolio made with Adobe, calling it the Adobe portfolio. Everyone in the class will be making something that looks very much like this or almost identical to this. And you will be making this. It's one of the first assignments. These sort of big graphic images correspond to different projects that you're going to be working on. The first one is modern hieroglyphs, and then we have sound and meaning that deals with audio. And then we have this project called newspaper evolution. Okay, the newspaper evolution project takes a couple of weeks to do. But first you'll create the portfolio, and then you will fill up the content that goes behind these different pages. And I encourage you, don't wait until the last minute, okay? The weekly deadline for material in the class is Friday midnight, or technically 11:59 p.m., end of the day Friday, okay? Friday midnight. Don't wait until the last minute to try and access these online tools, because you may find some technical issue, your computer may have an issue, there could be some problem. So as soon as possible, the instructions are on Canvas. Make sure you have downloaded Adobe Creative Cloud, or maybe you access it online. I don't even know, but there's instructions there. Trust me. I've taught this class and used Adobe a couple of semesters, and every student is able to figure out how to get access to it. So please look at those instructions and make sure you have access to Adobe Creative Cloud. That's where we will be doing a lot of the projects. At the end of the semester, there's a big group project called the Shark Tank project that takes up a couple of weeks. Since we're such a small class, we may only end up with 2 groups, probably a maximum of 3 groups. But we can deal with that later. There is no real final exam. The Shark Tank group project is the last thing you'll do. And then when the semester is done, you're done. There's no final exam during final exam week. That's basically it. I have one final question here for the syllabus quiz. If you've watched the Get to Know Me video, which all of y'all should have done, kind of a pet peeve of mine is when people misspell my name. So here's the final question. All right, that's it. Now that you've completed this, we're good to go and we're off.